Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to the south of Italy, Sicily, and we are with the Cannoli Ambassador making
Sfinci, Sicilian donuts.
Made by the Cannoli man, ladies and gentlemen. So, you're gonna love this. Hi and welcome to
Vincenzo's plate.
Oh yes, with the Cannoli Ambassador Robert Lopez. How proud are you to be the Cannoli Ambassador?
I'm proud to be the Cannoli Ambassador. I'm proud to be Sicilian, and I'm proud to be sharing a very special recipe with you today.
From your Nonna, hey?
From my Nonna, from my heart, my soul.
Sfinci. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Lopez went all the way to America last year to review the best cannoli in USA.
Very, very nice. I'll give my credit to him. Beautiful crispy shell, beautiful flavoured cannoli. The ricotta's lovely. This is a 7.5 out of 10. Well done, guys.
And who was the winner?
Monteleone was the best by far in Brooklyn. I have died and gone to heaven. The flavour is phenomenal. The choc chips are brilliant. That's a 10 out of 10.
So guys, make this recipe at home so you can feel like you're in Sicily with the Cannoli Ambassador.
We're going to be making Sfinci the Sicilian way, and we're going to start with the dough. To make the dough for the Sfinci, we're going to be needing 1 cup of full cream milk, 1/4 cup of caster sugar, 3 cups of plain flour, 1 cup of fresh ricotta. It must be fresh. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, a good vanilla, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 eggs that we're going to lightly whisk, and we're going to use about 1/2 cup, maybe a little bit more, of sultanas. We're going to be frying these in vegetable oil, and we're going to be finishing them off with some beautiful icing sugar and some fresh honey. The first thing we'll do is get the vegetable oil, or oil of your choice, into a pan, and we're going to heat that up to 190 degrees Celsius, or about 375 Fahrenheit. If you've got a deep fryer, you can set the temperature. You can go for gold with that. If not, I've got a thermometer here. We'll be ready to turn it on. The reason we use a lot of oil is because you want the Sfinci to swim. They need the space to swim in there so that they cook evenly and perfectly. So to start, we're going to be combining 1 cup of full cream milk and 1/4 cup of caster sugar. We're now going to put that onto a medium heat. We're going to stir this until the sugar dissolves, which will take about 2 to 3 minutes. Sfinci is something I grew up with. And any good Sicilian, well, we're all good us Sicilians, but any great Sicilian will know just how important Sfinci is. So for me, it's a very proud moment to be able to be sharing this recipe with all of you out there. We're now going to take the heat off because the sugar has dissolved. We'll remove it from the heat and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we now need to lightly whisk 2 eggs. Not too much because we are going to be mixing them in with the milk and sugar. We're now going to start combining the wet ingredients. So we're going to put in our milk and sugar that we've dissolved, the 2 eggs that we've whisked, and we're going to put in our fresh ricotta. Remember, 1 cup of ricotta. Make sure you use fresh. Now we're going to whisk this together. Go slow at first, and then it'll start coming together. My Nonna always put ricotta in her Sfinci. There's different recipes out there, some that don't use it. And my Nonna always said it made them lighter. And I agree with her, and why change it? So here we have 3 cups of plain flour that has been sifted. We're now going to add to that 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure you do sift the plain flour because you don't want lumps. Sifting it will resolve all that. Okay, we'll just mix the baking powder in with the plain sifted flour. We're now going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract in the egg mixture. Okay, we're going to add our baking powder and flour mixture in all at once. Don't be shy. We're going to start stirring it, combining it well. It takes a little bit, but you'll notice when it starts coming together.
Rob, there is nothing better than sharing family recipes, you know, and this is very, very important for all of us who want to share your traditions. So, Robert, your Nonna would be very proud of you, Robert.
Thank you. Yes, she would. She'd be looking down saying, don't get it wrong.
Especially today, because we're filming it.
Especially today, because everyone's going to be seeing this. But no, it was a very special recipe. We knew when Nonna made Sfinci, it was a very special occasion. So you can see we've mixed it. There's no more flour. It's all combined really well, and it's ready for the final ingredient to go in. Remember, across Sicily, there's so many different recipes out there for Sfinci. You can do savoury. You take out the sugar. Friends of mine who come from Lipari, one of the Isaioli Islands in Sicily, they make a beautiful savoury Sfinci with pumpkin and rosemary, which is delicious. But today, I'm sticking with my Nonna's tradition, and we're going to be putting in sultanas. Okay, we're going to add in, it's between half a cup and 1 cup of sultanas, depending how much you want to run through. I think it's important that you get plenty of sultanas. So mix them through, don't overmix, just so they're well combined. Remember, with every bite, you want to get the beautiful flavors of the sultanas. You just want to get them well spread out through the mixture. Okay, we're ready to start frying. I've got my spoon ready. You can use an ice cream scoop or anything that's easy for you to get the mixture in a nice size, and we'll go over to the stove and we'll start frying. We're ready to start frying. Now the first one, I always like to call it my test. So drop your Sfinci in. They're going to form their own shape because Sfinci are allowed to be their own person. They can form whatever shape they like. You see that beautiful frying that's happening? Get a slotted spoon. You can start moving that around. Each Sfinci is about 4 tablespoons or 1 ice cream scoop worth of batter, and they take about 3 minutes to cook. It can vary depending how many Sfinci you have in there, but about 3 minutes is generally the guide. That's the colour we're looking for. Nice dark golden Sfinci. You can do about 4 at a time in a pan this size. Beautiful. You'll see they drop it first, and then that beautiful ricotta starts working. So you'll notice they drop to the bottom, then they rise to the top where they can start dancing. So it's important that you stir or you constantly agitate these Sfinci so you can have a look at how they're cooking. You can see one side turns brown, so you can start turning the Sfinci over. These are looking fantastic. You'll see when they've gone beautiful and brown, they've been in there for about 3 minutes, and you'll know to touch. You'll see I'm constantly tapping, and I can tell the inside is still going to be a little bit too battery because I've got a little bit of bounce, and you want to wait until you get a beautiful firm tap the whole way around the Sfinci, which is why we keep stirring and turning them. We're very close now, probably another 30 seconds. I can see I'm getting a good tap on these Sfinci. We can start taking these out now. And remember, just like us, no 2 Sfinci are exactly the same.
Looks like this is the last batch, Rob.
This is the last batch, Vincenzo.
How many can we make, you think, with this dough?
From this recipe, you'll make between 14 and 16, depending how generous you are with the size.
Oh, that's true, yeah. And also, I know, how many do you think this can go for per person?
Well, look, say 1 per person. Some people like 2.
Oh yeah, I need about 5.
Yeah, I like about 4 or 5. You know,
minimum.
Once you get a Sfinci going, you can't stop. It's impossible.
Imagine doing this savoury and sweet. You can have a Sfinci dinner.
You could do a 3-course Sfinci meal.
You can.
You could do 3 courses of Sfinci. We're going to get 1 more out of this batter, and then we'll be finished with our last batch.
You know, the beautiful smell of frying food, Rob. You never go wrong with that. You like when you fry the cannoli. It smells so nice.
It's the best in the world.
Oh.
So we'll drop these onto the paper towel. Okay, let's get these ready to serve. We're going to just bring them over to a platter. This is the big finale. This is what makes Sfinci Sfinci. We're going to be finishing it off today with some beautiful icing sugar and fresh honey. Can you imagine that honey drizzled on these beautiful, light, delicate Sfinci? I'm excited. And now we're going to be sifting this beautiful icing sugar onto the delicate Sfinci. Get plenty of icing sugar Look at that beautiful snow-like icing sugar going on these peaks of the mountains that the Sfinci have formed. This is the gold at the end of the Sfinci rainbow. Now we're going to drizzle this honey over the beautiful Sfinci.
Hey Rob, you know what time it is?
Vincenzo, I'm excited. I think it's time to taste.
Time for tasting! So let's get those beautiful Sfinci Siciliani.
Can you smell that?
I can smell the flavors of the honey combined with the pastry, and it's a beautiful combination that creates this very unique smell. Can we eat it?
Well, they're almost too good to eat.
Yeah, no, but we have to eat it. Mine looks like a chicken.
Looks a bit like Australia.
The honey got stuck on my lips. I love the crispy on the outside, the super moist on the inside.
They are fantastic. And when you open it, you got all those bubbles.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. We can all be Sicilian right now, thanks to you, Mr. Cannoli Ambassador. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. We will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia.
Si mangia.
Vincenzo's Plate. Thank you, and thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.